오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 오빤 강남스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 오빤 강남스타일.
And on that note, welcome to From Our Mother's Basement, the show where we talk about everything nerd, whether it be anime, manga, tech, sci-fi, comics, you name it. I'm Jason.
Gundam style.
Yeah, and Gundam.
And I am Michael.
Oh, that should have been just an initial, like, hey, I wonder if this works, turned into an all-night. Let's see how much crap I can throw in there. So I made the full Gundam style thing, which used how many Gundams? I lost count.
I didn't actually do a count of the actual... Hang on, I'm trying to adjust my camera because you got me off center a little bit. There we go. I didn't do a count, but I mean, at that last scene, the guy who did that spent their 2 weeks doing it.
Yeah.
On that last part especially, I think I counted pretty much every Gundam head that's ever been used and most Zaku. So that's a labor of love right there.
Yeah, it was impressive. And of course, someone made a Psy pony that I had to throw that in there. And of course, I had to choose the video game stuff to Sexy Lady. So what better than Dead or Alive 5? So
yeah, is that where the bunny girls are from?
Yep, that's from the upcoming game.
Oh man, okay, I want that game. Killer Bunny Girls. I'm all for that.
Ah, yes. Well, you just came back from the movies, didn't you?
Yeah. I just got back from seeing Expendables 2.
How was that?
7 vials of testosterone up. It's it's a lot of fun. It's there. You can't really compare it to the first one. Although it was as fun as the first one in a lot of ways, but different. It had a lot more. It's Chuck Norris's bit when Chuck Norris shows up is freaking hilarious. And yes, they play off on the Chuck Norris jokes.
Awesome.
You've got characters who, one action hero steals the catchphrase of the other action hero, so the other one gets revenge and does the same thing essentially. What's weird is that in the commercials you've seen that the Chinese chick that's running around with them. Mm-hmm. Her name's Yunnan. I don't know where she's from. Okay. I've never seen her before. Mm-hmm. But I swear to God, she could be either Jet Li's daughter or sister. I mean, seriously, and it's not this case of Asians look alike bullshit. They literally, I'm looking at this woman through the whole time when I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, she could be related to Jet Li. She looks like she's in family.
Okay.
And she fights pretty good too. Jet Li does some badass stuff. Okay. Terry Crews actually starting to come into his own. And Thor's little brother is in it.
Okay.
Well, it's a Hemsworth, but it's not Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, okay.
It's Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, okay.
So it's Thor's younger brother. It's Thor Light.
So Loki.
No, not Loki. Although, speaking of Thor, they ran a bunch of trailers before it. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I missed the Dread trailer because I was out getting popcorn.
Awesome trailer.
Well, I know there's the one we showed the other week, which was badass.
Yes.
But then they had something for some new Bruce Willis movie called Loopers, which is time travel.
Going to be amazing. Have you not seen anything about this up until earlier today?
No.
The whole idea behind, it's a dystopian future. The mobsters use time travel to get rid of, people that need to disappear. So they send them back, and they hire these loopers back in time where they kill them and dispose of them, and they get paid for it. Do you understand the bit between Gordon Levitt and Bruce Willis?
I don't know this. I literally
Okay.
walked in the last 30 seconds.
Then you
of this
get
movie.
Bruce Willis, who shows up. Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are the same character 30 years apart. The mobs tried to close the loop and sent him back in order to get killed by his younger self, who he runs away from, and they actually start teaming up to try to fight to resolve an issue.
Interesting.
The way they play
Some
off the
fun
whole sci-fi
paradox things there.
It very much so, but the way they explain it and everything I've read so far, it's pretty spot on of what they can do. I'm looking forward to it.
So it's spacey, wasty, timey-wimey?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Other trailers they ran that were kind of interesting. How long's the Gubbinator been out of office? Less than a year,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I would say like maybe 8
He's
months.
already got a movie coming out.
That was quick.
Yeah. He's been out of the Capitol for less than a year, and there's already a movie coming out that he's in as an action hero.
What's it called? The Governator?
No, it's called shit. He's a sheriff.
Last Stand.
Last Stand? Yeah, Last Stand.
Okay.
And then further proof that Hollywood is just about bereft of ideas for creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what they're remaking?
Well, they've already bastardized Total Recall. What else could they do?
I'll give you a hint. Wolverines! Yes, they're remaking Red Dawn.
The original was good enough as is.
Yeah.
Hell, it's been on Stars for most of this week. I've been watching it a couple of times, just
Yeah,
for old times'
they're,
sake. And they're gonna why?
I don't know, but Chris Hemsworth's in it with short hair, which ought to disappoint a lot of girls I know.
I don't know.
But and it's
In the chat, HP1 says, "We did that already. It's called Homefront."
that's a game though. This is an actual movie. But they yeah, so they're redoing Red Dawn. This time it's the North Koreans that are invading, which is completely unbelievable considering we could wipe them off the map with a button push. But apparently they get some super weapon that, shuts all our shit down, and that's how they take over. But other than that, the movie, like I said, the Expendables 2, hell of a lot of fun. Check your brain at the door. Have a good time.
Popcorn flick of the same caliber.
Oh, it's total popcorn flick.
Nice.
What's amazing is how good a shape Van Damme's looking. For, someone who's been out of the spotlight as long as he has,
True.
homeboy's built.
Well, I gotta imagine.
I mean, his arms are like...
I gotta
so-
imagine the fact that when they approached him saying, "We want you to be part of Expendables 2," he probably went, "Thank God I'm no longer part of direct-to-video." Hell.
I'm actually willing to bet he probably called up Sly and said, "Hey, dude, come on."
Regardless of how he got the part, but once he got the part, I'm sure he's like, "Forget this. I'm gonna just work out."
He's the main bad guy in this one.
Oh, nice.
And you get to see him do some of his signature moves, though I hope they were him actually doing it and not a stunt double. Because if he can still do that reverse roundhouse kick, I'm fucking impressed.
I need to go see it once I get some more money.
It's a lot of fun. It's worth seeing if you're into action flicks and you
Okay.
just want to check your brain at the door.
All right. Well, let's talk about other movie stuff that's been announced. Let's talk about Spielberg.
Uh-huh.
Let's talk about Indiana Jones. Let's forget the fact that there was a fifth movie. Let's just
The fifth movie wasn't that bad.
let's just forget it didn't exist.
It's better than Temple of Dumb.
I like Temple of Doom.
I like Temple of Dumb too, but if I were to pick between Indy 5 and Temple of Dumb, I'm gonna take the trans-dimensional aliens.
Okay, all right. I'll give it to you on that. Well, the reason why we're bringing up Indiana Jones is for two reasons. One, Indiana Jones: The Complete Adventures, movies 1 through 5, are actually going to be released on Blu-ray, and pre-orders are available. Let's see if I can get the shot right here for you.
Cannot
Yep.
wait.
It's for $69. It comes out September 18th. It's coming up in actually almost exactly a month.
Oh man,
That's-
I know where part of my mid-month check's going.
Yeah. There's an article or before I get to the article part, the best thing about this, in order to commemorate this, on September 7th, the classic movie, where is it? I just had it right here. There it is. Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark is coming back to theaters, specifically IMAX.
That's not the coolest part, though.
Okay.
That's not the coolest part to me.
I think that's pretty freaking cool right there.
Oh, it is freaking cool because he did originally shoot it on 70 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So in fact, I think the first time I actually saw Raiders of the Lost Ark was on 70 millimeter Dolby. Yeah, I'm dating myself again. But 70 millimeter 6-track Dolby back in 81. I think it was 81. Anyway, so that's cool. They've got this because they've got the 75 or the 70 mil film stock to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the coolest part to me. The coolest part to me is that Spielberg's not pulling a Lucas.
True. Okay, I will agree. That's probably the best part about this whole thing.
He's not going back and redoing. The only thing he's redoing is the audio.
Mm-hmm.
To optimize it for the IMAX.
Which please
surround.
do. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
What's IMAX? What, 15,000 watts?
Something like that.
12,000 watts. Sorry.
But it's as much oomph as those movies. I mean, one of the trademark things about any of the indie movies is if you're in any place that has any quality subs,
mm-hmm.
when someone gets punched, you feel it. You know. And optimizing that for an IMAX, I think, is going to be really cool. The fact that he's not altering the video on it at all, I'm in favor of. I think that's great. He's not pulling a Lucas on it. Of course, you don't really need to pull a Lucas on it. I mean, as much as I kvetch, excuse me, along with a lot of other people, about how, George screwed up Star Wars by doing all these enhancements,
mm-hmm.
A lot of the enhancements themselves, I don't have a problem with. And adding the extra population of critters and stuff in Mos Eisley, redoing the space effects, the gravity rings on the explosions. I'm okay with all that. Where I had a problem was when he did shit like Greedo shoots first.
Yeah. You're messing with the story instead of enhancing the situation.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, Spielberg himself...
Adding more ambience I'm cool with, but fucking with the story, not so much.
Well, I remember Spielberg took flack for doing just that with the re-release of E.T., when it came out on, it was on DVD a few years ago. When it was reissued, he did things like, the scene where E.T. and the boys, are on the bikes and they're about to go up past the cops, and the cops have all the rifles and shotguns. Well, he went back and changed those to radios, and that was just he got reamed on shit like that.
As he should.
And he learned his lesson, unlike Lucas. He says, and I quote, "I am no longer a digital revisionist. The original version is just what the fans want." And thank you, Spielberg, for that.
Thank you very, very much.
Now, if you only get that, have George do that. Unfortunately, this is not the last of the reissues. He is contractually obligated to do a 3D re-release of Jurassic Park.
That has potential.
I mean, unfortunately,
the thing is, the CG in Jurassic Park still holds to this day.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree with that.
If by some snowball's chance in hell, and I would be shocked if they didn't, ILM still has all the models files and all the scene files for the original Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
All they have to do is mod those and re-render them in 3D.
Okay.
The only spot they really have to fake 3D is in the live action shots, which they don't even necessarily need to do it there. They could do although it wouldn't work as well. You can get away with that gimmick in Tron. Because in Tron, in the 3D version of Tron, all the real world stuff was 2D flat.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go 3D until you got into the computer. So it could work. But
if they only do the 3D the same way they did with Tron Legacy, and the fact that it was used just to enhance is not any gimmicky like nothing like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I doubt they're gonna go gimmicky with it, but it's in the case of Tron Legacy though, it was shot in 3D.
Good point.
The hard part is the thing that makes it kind of scary is you're faking 3D. You're making something 3D that wasn't. You can do it with the dinosaurs easily enough, at least the CG portions of the dinosaurs, which the way they did it, and this kudos to Stan Winston Studios for the seamless blending between CG and real and the animatronics. I'm curious to see it, but I'm not a huge 3D fan.
Yeah, the only two movies I really enjoyed in 3D were Tron Legacy and Avatar. That's because it was used to enhance it. You saw depth of the scene, not the abomination that was. I didn't even see it in theaters. Clash of the Titans, the remake, where they.
I thought you were going to talk about cheesy 3D gimmickry, and I was going to go, Jaws 3D maybe. Oh man, that was a travesty.
Oh well. All right. Well, should we talk about some more other movie news other than all of the Spielberg stuff?
Do you want to go movies or do you want to go video games?
Let's go movies, and then we'll go into the video games.
Okay.
We're almost done with it.
Cool.
Let's start with we'll talk about Avengers real quick.
Yes.
We talked about it that, Wheaton's been signed. Joss Whedon's been Wheaton. Wheaton.
You said Wheaton for a second there.
Will Wheaton.
Wheat. Why are you emphasizing the H? Can I join your show? No. Okay. Sorry.
All right. Joss Whedon was contracted for a 3-year exclusivity, time frame to work on the Marvel franchise. Marvel has just recently announced the release date for the sequel to Avengers, which was awesome. One of the best movies of the year. We have a bit of a wait, but that's not surprising. It's May 1st, 2015. So they got 3 years.
Well, that's good. I was afraid they were going to try and go for like 2014 or something.
Well, they still have a bunch of movies to take place in that time frame.
Well, there's some movies that take place in that time frame, and one of the problems I was reading, was it Whedon? I think it was Whedon and somebody else. They kind of have a complaint about the way the Hollywood system is now. Is when you before you start production, the release date, which adds to the pressure, and heaven forbid something go wrong. You have to, and there's been argument in a lot of on a lot of boards. I've seen a lot of discussions where, they're talking about, this idea of you have to have it out by time X.
All right.
Leads to shoddy work.
Yeah. Because
nobody's willing to pull a Blizzard and release it when it's done.
But at the same time, I have faith in Joss Whedon and what he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, they have what? They have Thor 2, Iron Man 3. They have the new Marvel TV show, and then of course.
Have they announced what that is yet?
No,
they
haven't. It's
have they
all
gone into
speculation.
any channel on it?
Nothing.
Okay.
The only bit of news, anything other than Avenger stuff that was announced, was Guardians of the Galaxy, which a lot of people who weren't really huge fanboys of Marvel went, "The hell is that?"
I'm one of them. Sorry. What the hell is it? I still barely understand it.
The synopsis of it that was released recently for the movie version is a U.S. pilot who ends up in space in the middle of a universal conflict and goes on the run with futuristic ex-cons who have something everyone wants. Now, they don't specify what that
sounds
U.S.
like an outer
pilot
space buddies picture.
It could be. It's very cosmic.
48 hours in space.
With special cameo by John Candy's hologram. No.
John Candy or Eddie Murphy's hologram.
Eddie Murphy. Okay.
Roxanne!
Now,
Sorry.
they haven't announced who this U.S. pilot is. The thing is, if you go more into the comic itself, there is a U.S. pilot that's featured in Guardians of the Galaxy. Here's a picture of the person. His name is Vance Astro, and his nickname once he becomes superhero is Major Victory. Now he kind of has, as you can see, maybe a Captain America vibe to it, because obviously he's holding the shield in that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worked his way throughout several other Marvel franchises.
He kind of reminds me of only he's blue. Kind of like Omega Red. Kind of like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Kind of like Dr. Manhattan meets Omega Red. It's interesting.
Now, what's funny is that in the comics, and I wonder if it's going to happen in the movie, there's a point where, Astro and the Guardians of the Galaxy, the superhero group that protects, the universe and whatnot, meets up with a time-traveling Thor. Could we see a cameo, maybe? I mean, we already had. You're obviously going to be.
I suppose if they're being all inclusive of the full Marvel universe, then yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Although Hemsworth time traveling Thor, where does the time travel aspect come into it?
The thing is, I wasn't the biggest fan of Thor, so I'm not really knowledgeable of Thor's mythos, at least in the comic book form. So I need
Fox,
to
let go of Fantastic Four, let go of Green Lantern. Oh no, Green Lantern's DC. My bad.
DC.
My
DC,
bad.
Let's just say Green Lantern needs a. It doesn't even need a Viking barrel. It just needs to be burned. Considering what that last movie was.
You know what? I actually kind of liked the last movie. I kind of liked Green Lantern.
You know, I can cut you from this show.
I'm also a fan of that actor, though. I think Ryan, what's his last name? Reynolds. I think Ryan Reynolds is fucking hilarious.
But the thing is, let's little tangent on
it
that.
It was a potentially a fun movie. The ideas, they played it straight for the most part. The whole thing of how they set up Sinestro. I mean, I actually kind of, shoot me if you want, but I actually kind of liked it. It had its kitschy, stupid moments, yes, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Okay, but I'll say this: Ryan Reynolds needs to drop just DC characters in general. Drop the Green Lantern and whatnot. He needs to stick with what he's really good at. The best superhero
Blade?
I think he's best for is Deadpool.
Okay, Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool would be fucking awesome.
Yes, wouldn't it be?
And here I am swearing already. Yeah,
which happens to tie in with our next thing.
You know, it's funny you should mention Deadpool. Yeah, that would be good. That would be. I could totally see him.
I mean, he had just the demeanor, the attitude, the personality. That'd just be
the snarkiness.
Oh yeah. Which
totally.
Speaking of Deadpool, Deadpool is receiving a brand new comic series, part of the Marvel Now relaunch. It's going to happen sometime October, November. This is the cover of the first issue. How classic Deadpool is that? I'm going to take on the Godzilla Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I was going to say that looks like Godzilla. Deadpool versus Godzilla. Sure, why not? It's his style.
Now, there's several interviews posted online with the creative crew behind this one. They're clearly focusing on the comedy. I was just reading about this before the show, that the first arc of this new Deadpool series sees Deadpool take on a mission from S.H.I.E.L.D. and do battle with zombie versions of America's presidents. That's classic Deadpool.
It is classic Deadpool. A couple of our not-so-dead presidents could classify as zombies.
True, very true. Even some of our candidates,
George Bush Sr., maybe? He's looking pretty zombified. Wow. That could be fun.
I can just imagine how well... Because the three collaborators for this series are pretty big in the comic book world, and they've worked on some great stuff. And so now they're all focusing on Deadpool. And Deadpool's already a snarky badass himself, so who's gonna see what happened?
Who would fit perfectly in a Whedon universe.
Yes, very much so. But that's not all the Deadpool news we have.
I was gonna say, that's not it. No, there's a video game coming out.
Yay.
Yes, I so cannot wait for this game. And we have a trailer for it that we're going to show you guys.
We do.
It's not safe for work.
Not by any means necessary.
Then again, neither's our show. So
yeah,
there you
good
go.
Point. All right.
But yeah, definitely watch and enjoy. This is awesome. Oh man. Suck it, Wolverine. While we were screening that, I've been informed that Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to be Deadpool because you can't be multiple superheroes. You got to pick one.
So pick Deadpool.
So pick Deadpool.
Yes.
Yeah, no. Also, I was also reminded that there are rare instances where studios do something smart and despite a movie's release date, they will push back a release date. Case in point, G.I. Joe. The new Joe movie, they pushed it back damn near a year. Well, not
yeah.
like 9 months. They pushed it back and gave it more money to go back and redo the shit in 3D the right way. So maybe some studios are learning.
Not all of them, sure.
No, true, but not all of them. But Deadpool, yes, Deadpool the game must have that game. It is required.
Yes, very much so. All right. What else should we talk about, Michael?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
How about pandas?
You want? We can talk about Panda. Oh, you want to stick with video games, or you want to take a slight side break and come back to video games?
Let's do a side break. Why not?
A fun way to teach people about how to do credit properly. Would you like to make a contract with Microsoft, with MasterCard? I totally borked that one, didn't I? Let's try this again. Would you like to learn how to handle credit responsibly? Oh, God. No. Better him than Bomber, I suppose. But
it could be Steve Jobs, you know.
He's kind of dead.
But Cuba's everywhere.
Yeah, but Cuba's not dead. Anyway, so yeah, they if you want the responsible way is to make a contract with MasterCard, because show the picture. That's right. You can have your Madoka MasterCard.
Yes. Now the thing is,
notice Cuba's not on the card.
True. Actually, I never really realized that Cuba isn't on the card.
He's like, fuck you guys. You're signing the contract with me. I ain't going on the card.
But the thing is, okay, we'll talk a little about this, and then I'll talk about why this isn't really all that uncommon in Japan.
Oh, yeah. No, they do that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, but still, I just thought that was kind of awesome.
I mean, yeah, they have, of course, a very high APR if you want to join on this. But the whole thing about having a credit card like this is the perks. Now, yes, in the States, if you really wanted to, you can grab this picture, obviously without all the credit card information on it. Find a credit card like Capital One or whatnot that offers, the ability to put your own picture on it, and then you post it. And, hey, look, you have a Madoka credit card of your own.
Okay, Tanuki Works just posted in the channel. Just like the Soul Gems, the card's a bitch to clear. Nice.
It probably has secret repercussions and fees that may destroy your credit score. While quite possible, what they actually offer is a bonus that if you sign up by September 20th, you'll be entered into a drawing to win one of 200 sets of special movie passes to the first 2 Madoka movies. They're releasing a new film trilogy starting in October.
In Japan, yeah.
They're also going to receive a specially designed card that has basically one of the characters on it. There's it's a set of 8. You get 1 at random every month. If you collect all 8, you get a little stand for all of them. The stand and the cards you can't get any other way. You can't buy them. You can't win them elsewhere. You have to be on this card.
I just want the only card I care about. I mean, I like Mommy. Mommy's cool and all. Mm-hmm. But I want the one, what's the girl with the Tarj on her arm that has the never-ending arsenal?
I forget the names, but I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, I want her.
Yeah, the whole thing about this is you're going to see fans, they're going to obviously jump on this ASAP.
Homura, thank you, Kuroku.
Ah, yes, Homura-chan. The whole thing that I find interesting about this is that, okay, it's a credit card that you have to use at least once a year in order for it to continue being active.
That's normal.
When we were talking about this initially on Adabreak with Brian said, well, no self-respecting otaku is going to use this card for fear of it being scratched in the card machine. Of course.
So you use it online.
That's what I said, yeah. So I can only imagine that otaku who get this in Japan, now, 1, they're going to be lucky. 2, they're going to probably frame it, and so it's just on the wall, and once a year when they need to buy something, they just flip it over so they can see what the number is in the back, and then there'll just be a wall of credit cards.
And then after a year or 2, they're going to get really frustrated, and the world's going to get all hand-drawn line art and funky patterns. They're going to reach over and start biting the head off of otaku, and it's just going to be until the next generation.
Yeah. But these credit cards are everywhere in Japan. It's not just anime. You got manga ones, especially J-Rock, J-Pop stars, they have their own credit cards.
Oh, Yoshiki.
Yeah,
Yoshiki's
I would
got
tell
one
the
of
story
everything.
about that.
Oh, I'll tell the Yoshiki story another time. It's
Okay.
that's funny, but I'll tell it another time.
Gotcha. All right.
But yeah, they need to. Well, see, in America, you can already kind of do this.
We don't get the perks or the exclusivity.
No, you don't get the exclusivity, you don't get the perks, but a lot of the cards in America, you can put your own picture on it, whatever it is. I mean, I actually saw someone who put a hentai image on a credit card.
Nice. Wait, you got
I was
approved?
like, they managed somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, but the idea of the Madoka card I just thought was pretty damn awesome. Now let's go back to the video games.
All right. What should we talk about? Let's go to Pandas.
Let's go to Pandas. So, Blizzard, you're getting ready to release Mists of Pandaria. Getting ready to release the Pandas, and they released the opening cinematic this week, and it's not well. They've outdone themselves as usual. It's gorgeous, and there's a comedic element to it, but it's pretty badass. Do you by chance have the thing queued up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's watch it because it's pretty badass. Warning: spoilers if you don't want to see the Miss Pandaria opening. Don't watch this part for about the next 5 minutes.
All right.
So
Coming soon to
cannot
theaters.
wait.
No.
Oh shit! Oh man. Okay. I don't know. You may not get this because I don't know if you've seen him or not. But anyone who's watching who's been to BlizzCon, is it me or does the human captain look like a seriously buffed out version of Chris Metzen, who's the VP of Creative Content at Blizzard?
I have not seen the person
There
you're
was a
talking
while
about,
where
but
he was sporting the beard like that for a while. So it's oh man,
it wouldn't be past Blizzard to do something like that.
It would be kind of awesome, actually, if the captain was based off of Metzen, but who's known to be Horde centric, actually, or believed to be Horde centric, I should say. But yeah, that's badass. I mean,
The comedic timing is perfect, especially with the little.
oh yeah, with a little stick, and then he hands him up. Yeah. Oh man, I so can't wait for this game to come out, and I'm so looking forward to playing a monk.
Yeah, it comes out on what, September 25th?
25th, yes.
Ah, yes.
Yes, I will be pre-ordering my copies for myself and Nikki in the next couple weeks.
Nice.
They haven't announced what's in the physical collector's edition yet. They've only announced the digital collector's edition. You see, I buy the physical collector's editions because it comes with the art book, the soundtrack, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So we'll see. But
Okay.
yeah, it's looking badass, and they do need to make movies. HPL, to answer your question, Pandaren Brewmaster. Brewmaster is one of the skill trees you can go for the monk class. They have there's monks can go either tank, healer, or DPS. The tank class or the tank spec is the Brewmaster. And I don't.
that class bless items?
Because
Because you say Brewmaster, and the first thing
no.
I think of is there's trees, there's rocks, there's birds. Come on, let's bless everything till he gets first snickered.
It's entirely possible. I don't know.
Oh well, maybe I'll hopefully get around to it. I need to actually renew my account. It's been 6 months, and I need to buy another 6 months.
Yes, you do. And you need to come in and actually play.
Yes, I do. But the problem is, one of our friends, Brian, he gave me not Yang, but Brian Raker. He gave me a beta pass to.
Oh, you're
Firefall.
playing Firefall?
So I started it at like 2:00 last night, or the 2:00 a.m. this morning.
Uh-huh.
I didn't stop playing about 5:30, 5:45.
I played Firefall a bit because he got me a demo or a beta invite too.
Uh-huh.
Problem is, I'm having a hard time figuring it out. I mean, yeah, it's not that complex, but I mean, it's not sure where to go, what to do, not a lot of instruction. So
Hopefully they'll expand upon that. There were a few times where I just got completely lost in that. Just like, okay, let's go to map. Let's put a cursor over there and see if we can find something.
yeah, or you know what? I'm just gonna die so that I spawn back at the city. I ended up doing that a few times because I got completely lost.
Same here.
So
All right, we'll see what happens when they come out. I definitely need to get back on my WoW account. So
yes, you do.
But I want
Yes.
to jump a little bit from video games to something that's kind of tied into anime, just more along the lines of who from the anime industry is actually involved in this movie. This is going to be an upcoming CG movie, so kind of similar to what you just saw right now, but it's a sequel, and actually one of the first true sequels to Starship Troopers. This one's called Invasion, and to be honest, it looks pretty badass.
Okay.
Actually earlier today, it was the first 10 minutes started to stream online. Now, we're not going to sit here and show you the full 10 minutes because I'm sure we'll get sued or shut down before it's finished.
Also, that's just lazy podcasting.
It is very lazy podcasting. So what we're going to do instead, I'm going to show you one of the awesome trailers that they had from earlier this year, in case you haven't seen that, and then I'll post links to where you can actually watch the full 10 minutes, which I watched just before the show, and it works pretty well. So let's watch this.
Would you like to learn more?
They had to add that. That's a classic quote from
Yeah.
the original.
Now, obviously, Casper Van Dien's executive producer, which is kind of amusing in its own right, considering some of the tripe he's done over the years. But he was in the original Starship Troopers, so I got to give him credit there. Did they bring back NPH and Denise Richards to voice their characters?
Yes.
Really?
Well, at least NPH.
Okay.
I know Neil Patrick Harris is back on board to voice his character, which I've watched the first 10 minutes, and his character, after the years has gone by, now they've grown up, he's a dick.
He was kind of a dick before.
Yeah, even more so than before. Of course, they added some new characters. One of the things I really like about it is it's directed by Shinji Aramaki, a great director.
Yes.
The Appleseed
director.
franchise. He also handled some of the designs, especially the mech designs and the armor suits that the troopers wear.
Okay, that explains some of the Shiro-esque aspects. I was also noticing that the character designs look very, I want to say, part Squeenix, part Metal Gear Solid.
Kind of, yeah.
Like that one captain in the beginning where the guy with the scar on his face looks very, I'm like, oh, look, it's Snake. It's Solid Snake.
Would you surprise you that I told you that Kojima's part of this thing? No.
No, it wouldn't surprise me to hear Kojima's part of it, actually.
No, I don't know if he is or not, but yeah, it definitely has that feel of it. This takes place 10 years after the end of the first film, so you can forget 2 and the god-awful 3, so...
Well, 2 was the one that had the guy from Sentinel in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was amusing. But is it still canon, or is that separate? 3 was the one where Casper Van Dien was in number 3, wasn't he? Oh, yeah, I watched the first 20 minutes of that.
Where they somehow convinced him to come back, and it was just shite, so...
Right, and that's the one that had the songs from.
Mm-hmm. So, this, because the fact it takes place 10 years after that, I have a feeling that this might... I don't know if it's going to be canon to what the original trilogy was, or is it just forgetting that 2 and 3 ever existed?
Well, it depends. Are the original are 1, 2, and 3 canon? I mean, 2's kind of standalone, so it doesn't matter really if it's canon, because none of the main characters are in it. It's just the same universe. 3, since Rico's in it,
we could see what happens.
That's a good question. It's a really good question. The animation house. I'm wondering I want to know who the animation house is who's doing it.
I had it written down
Because it also looks very similar to the folks who did Resident Evil Degeneration.
It does have that same feel to it, yeah.
Yeah. Only better.
Now it is being distributed by Sony Pictures, which is great because they announced way back when that it will be an international release day and date. And the best thing about this comes out in 10 days. August 28th comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, and iTunes release.
Blu-ray, DVD, and iTunes.
And just before, I think a few days beforehand, there's going to be a very short, limited run in some theaters across the country.
See, that I would actually not mind seeing it in the theater.
I'll have to look around and see if I can find something in the
definitely.
LAOC area.
If we come across it in LAOC, I may make that. I may drag.
Heck, if it's up in Ventura, I might even drive up.
I may have to force Nikki to go with me, or if she refuses, I'll just hop on the bike and ride down.
Well, since we're on the whole CG and the modeling thing, there's a new bit of information by of all people
yes.
Disney.
Yes, but it's not Disney US.
It's which one? The one in Cambridge or?
No, it's Disney. Oh man, I was reading it. It's surprised. Zurich.
Oh, okay.
WDI, Walt Disney Imagineering, has a research team in Zurich that does research for various things, and they came up with this really awesome technology. The demo that's in the article doesn't really do the potential justice, because it's basically. Do you want to explain it, or do you want me to explain it?
You go and explain it. I'm just going to play the video in the background muted because
Okay.
the audio doesn't really say much.
Basically, what they do is they set up a multi-camera rig to real time create a 3D map of a person, and they then look at the plasticity of how the skin moves and everything. And what you're seeing right there is the result. This software calculates how flexible the material is, or how the skin flexes for various statements and expressions, down to individual wrinkles. And then they've got a software algorithm that calculates how thick the silicone that they're using for the face needs to be to achieve that level of flexion. And then they attach it to the animatronic head. The potentials for this are really awesome, and Uncanny Valley is about to become a very moot point. But the only problem I have with this demo is the head they're putting it on. Later on in the video, I doubt scoot forward a bit. You'll see a point where they've got a side-by-side. Okay, so there's the guy talking and doing stuff, and that's what the computer's real-time mapping. There's another point later on in the video where they show the guy was talking and the skin was attached to an animatronic head doing the same thing he was doing, and they were comparing the expression. It's towards the end. It's about 3/4 of the way through it. That's where they're injecting the mold to make the silicone.
Okay.
That's the guy talking for real on the left. And then when they actually put it on the head,
which is going to come up just next.
In just a moment. When they put it on the head, the motion range isn't there. But I don't think that's a problem of the skin. That's a problem of the actuators underneath.
Yeah.
They don't have the attach points underneath to fully articulate those motions. Okay, there you go. See, if you watch the way he talks, there's more. It's real close on the right. It's almost there, but they just don't have enough actuators in there to fully achieve exact mimicry.
But it's
damn close.
Yeah, it is insanely close.
It's scary. It's scary good. And yeah, like I said, Uncanny Valley is about to become a thing of the past. As far as looks go.
I can only imagine where this is going to go to. Say in a couple of years from now, where they finalize more of the minute details of this new technology, or this advancement of the technology, I should say. Just imagine how creepily accurate all the animatronics in like all the Disney theme parks are going to get.
Well, there's that aspect to it. Although I don't think a lot of them, I don't think Pirates will be affected, because Pirates
classic.
They're deliberately cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they look real, but they're kind of over the top characters.
Sure.
Not many people have noses that bulbous, etc. But they could do something like, say, if they wanted to revamp the Johnny Depp figure.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah,
they could use this. They could use this technology to put Johnny in the makeup,
mm-hmm.
have him do the thing, and use that to make the skin, and that would even add even more to the realism of what's there, because what's there is pretty good, but you can look at it and go, yeah, that's not really Johnny Depp.
Good.
And then where it'd be lots of fun potentially, and hopefully they take a chance to do this before most of them kick, is Hall of Presidents.
Hall of Presidents would be good.
Though at the same time, I could see NSA going, fuck you, you're going to clone the president? You know?
Well, and then you can go the complete opposite. And what if they decided to do like a special thing where they have some animatronic characters of Tron? I mean, yes, you can do it in CG, yes, and whatnot, but if you could have young Jeff Bridges, Clue, standing there in the flesh, so to speak, talking to you, that'd be kind of creepy.
That'd be kind of hard. Oh, it'd be creepy. It'd be cool at the same time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the capture system would capture their skin as it is now.
True. They do have to modify it.
Young Jeff Bridges to old Jeff Bridges versus, say, Bruce Boxleitner to modern Bruce Boxleitner.
Mm-hmm.
The potential's there to be really, really awesome.
Okay.
They'd have to reverse age it a bit, though.
Okay.
They'd have to tighten up things. But it could be awesome.
It could be, and it's on its way, as you saw. I mean, it's
yeah.
not there yet, but it's damn close.
It's damn close, and I would love to see where this goes.
Well, speaking of trying to clone something that may or may not exist, I can't think of a good transition. There's a new maid cafe in the United States. I couldn't think of a good transition.
No, maid cafes exist. It's whether it's going to be an accurate clone.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Thank you. You should have done that transition.
It's all good. It's all good.
So, for a while in Southern California, in Culver City, there was the Royalty Cafe, which they claimed they were a maid cafe, which part of it was there was waitresses and maid outfits.
Let's just say briefly, aren't they? Like
but it was
just
also
a normal cafe now.
No, it's completely gone.
Oh, it's gone.
It's gone. As of last month, Royalty closed its doors for good.
I've been to Little Tokyo, and really, wow, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But Karaku's still there. So
that's the reason to go.
That's the reason I go to Little Tokyo is Karaku.
So as of right now, there is not a maid cafe in California or on the West Coast for that matter. Previous attempts were, what was it? Far Out Toys over in San Jose. If you want to go up north, there was actually, I was told, I Made Cafe in Scarborough, Ontario.
Really?
But they closed back in like 2006, 2007 because they couldn't pay the bills.
Right.
It wasn't that popular.
Well, this is something that's pretty uniquely Akiba.
It is. And now there's a new Maid Cafe in America, and right now it is the only one that's in service on a regular basis.
Uh-huh.
The location's kind of interesting. It's in Detroit.
Because that's the hub of otaku culture, clearly.
Yes, it is. It's called Cho Anime Cafe. They've been out for about a month now. They got enough, pretty good amount of press to the point where they even got an article in the Huffington Post.
Okay.
They, unlike other maid cafes like Royalty, which was like half maid cafe, half art gallery, this is strictly maid cafe. The girls serve ramen, sushi, imported Japanese sweets, and if you want to pay like $2 or $3, the maids or the one butler they have right now will play a game with you, like a video game or a board game for a couple minutes.
Wow.
I'm wondering if this could actually survive. If this even thing, yes, it's very, very, very niche.
I don't think it's so much of can it survive. It's can it survive in Detroit? it's not the can it survive. It's the can it survive in because these things like Expo did a maid cafe.
Yeah.
And it does a maid cafe that's really successful. I want to say Otakon does one as well. Hell, AM Squared did one. I don't know how well it did, but they did one. And so do other cons. So the concept is not unheard of, but as a full-time one in Detroit, it's like, what are they going to retrofit the Ford lab to make Gundams now? I mean, that would actually be kind of badass. But brain melty.
You know what?
I just find I find the location odd.
Yes.
The concept I think is cool if they can make it fly, but you have to have. I mean, is there seriously all snarky silliness aside? Is there a large enough otaku base in Detroit to support such a venue?
I don't even go beyond Detroit. I would say anywhere in the country, the continuous, the 50 United States. Is there any place that I can think of that could possibly even remotely survive? And the only place I can think of is Hawaii, because they have such a large
Asian
influx
populace.
of the Asian populace, not to mention a bunch of people from Japan vacation there.
Well, yeah, you got the Japanese vacation there. There's the Japanese that live there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like, you want to see what a hybridization of Japan and America would look like? Go to Hawaii.
It's awesome.
I hope you like Spam. It's
Spam musubi.
That's actually not bad. If
I
it's done
love
right.
Musubi.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. If it's going to survive anywhere, it's going to be Hawaii.
Yeah. Sadly,
So,
you couldn't find it
good luck,
anywhere in
Detroit.
Yeah. With
Good
the
luck.
exception of Hawaii, the only place where I could think it could survive is only on the short-term basis during major anime conventions and events.
Although,
It's more of a niche thing than anything else over here in the States, at least.
well, there's one other spot it might survive. Well, there's two. The Asian districts in Orange County, specifically parts of Garden Grove and Fountain Valley, which have very dense Asian populations. Though that's mostly Korean and Vietnamese.
They have good
But
Vietnamese coffee shops.
There's a fair amount of Japanese there as well.
Yeah.
Another spot it might survive, although that's really pushing it, would be Japantown in San Francisco.
I don't even know about that.
Well, Viz is that's where
Viz with the New People Center, yeah, and of course they have
New People Center and Angelic Pretty's base there.
And they do a lot of events though. I know Viz and New Media they've been hosting events. I know this weekend there is a J-pop festival going on in the Bay.
Right.
So I could see it working within the confines of that event, but as a
but not as a year-round thing.
as a year-round thing, I don't know.
Well,
I really don't know. Hey, if someone can crack the code, then by all means, just go for it and expand. This would be awesome to walk down the street. And I'm gonna go to a maid cafe here. Why not? Because let me tell you, the experience in Japan that was unique. I would love to see how that translates over here in the States. Hey, shut up.
I'm sorry. No. I'm just reading what's in the chat. Tanuki Works is I don't know that I'd trust a Ford-built Gundam. Well, you know what the acronym of Ford is, Effer only runs downhill. Fix or repair daily.
It's like for a special event, you have a Lexus LFA careening down the street and turns into a giant mech.
That'd be kind of badass,
That would be
actually.
badass, okay.
Can we get the Kias with the hamsters? Crank an LMFA out?
No. They got to dance to Gangnam Style.
Oh, Gundam style. There you go. That should be the new Kia commercial.
Oh, jeez. I really hope that Psy, the artist behind Gangnam Style, doesn't do what a lot of people think he's going to do. He's currently stateside right now, invited by Justin Bieber and his manager, and they were seen having lunch. I really hope there's not going to be a collaboration there.
Well, the idea scares me, to be honest with you, of Bieber doing that. But I don't know. I still
on stage going.
That would be pretty damn funny, actually. That would be hilarious. Almost as hilarious as the ponies in the opener.
Gotta love
but
ponies.
that was freaking funny. But now you made me lose my thought. I can't look at Psy and not think Otaku.
Yeah,
Otaku
true.
flips table. The new Ford Zaku. Get 35 buildings destroyed to the ground.
I would love to take one of those on a test
that's
run.
awesome.
I would love to see the test field for that. They have these buildings lined up. Where are we to use for this? Oh, I don't know. We can use Detroit. That's mostly run down. We can use that.
Oh man, isn't that where the test? Don't they have a test center there too?
Who knows me?
Oh, man.
We're horrible people. It's awesome.
I think the potential's there.
It is.
We can test the Avas in White Sands. We can test the Gundams in Detroit. Area 51. We'll put Macross. We'll put the Veritex at Area 51.
That'd be funny. All right.
See a little YF-29 action. That'd be pretty badass.
I tell you, the military would be a hell of a lot more entertaining to watch then.
Oh, dude, you want to scare the fuck out of the Taliban?
Oh, you have the plane come
Sit here,
down and
hold
they're
your
like,
Vulcan cannon in their face.
Yeah, exactly. A plane. Oh, that's a plane. Who cares about? I can shoot that down. Turns into a giant mech and starts trampling them like.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to.
You're like Deadpool. Am I the only one here with a little shit in my pants right now? Best ride ever.
the one scene in the trailer when he's surrounding, he's shooting everybody. If you listen, he's actually going bang, bang,
Guys going
bang,
bang, bang, bang, bang.
That's
Yeah, I got
perfect Deadpool.
Oh yeah, totally.
All right. Well, I want to play one last video before we
Okay.
wrap this up.
Okay.
Last weekend in Europe, it was Gamescom, basically their version of E3, and they get three
yes.
times the number of people.
Yeah, they make E3 look small,
Yeah. Plus, also Gamescom is actually open to the public, so that's that's
which is part of why they get that many bodies.
Sony, as well as all the rest of the big three, they've had massive press conferences there. Sony announced a game that surprised me. It's called Rain, and it revolves around a boy who suddenly wakes up in a mysterious new world. But in this new world, he's invisible and can only be seen as an outline when he's in the rain. And you control this boy in this world. It's a very unique style. And let me play the trailer and we'll talk a little more about it afterwards. Very unique style and a nice idea.
Yeah, and I kind of agree with HPL. How do you do that? How do you control your character when you can't see where your character is? I sense a lot of frustration and remote throwing in the near future.
Well, if you saw...
Also, what's with the psycho dogs?
Well, yeah, there's psycho dogs and other people rushing about that were also just outlined by the rain, so you're not just the only person.
But it looked like he was running from the dog.
It most likely you could be. The thing that to respond to what you said about how do you control without seeing your character, especially when you're not in the rain. Honestly, there were the footprints that you can walk around. Now, granted, that's not as easy as say seeing your actual character, but it's something there. There was a similar game,
or maybe if they do something like they did when they released Tomb Raider. Which one was it? Not Legend. The one before Legend. No, maybe it was Legend. Yeah, because it was Legend, then Legend was Anniversary, basically.
Okay.
Either way, where they actually had it where when she goes in water, she comes out, she stays wet for a little while, and she's dripping. Why not apply that mechanic? So where you get rained on, maybe you can't see, but you're still dripping, so you get an idea of where
I think
you're
there was something
at
similar like that in Ico.
I never played Eco, so I don't know.
Ico, Shadow of the Colossus. It has that very similar feel. There's actually another game I think is not yet released, but the main character is actually a shadow, and you can only run in shadows. So it's not by Sony, so but a similar idea.
I think I've heard. I think I've heard of that game, the one you're talking about. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, I've heard mention of it at least.
I mean, I think it's a cool idea, but I said this in Anna Break, and I'll say it again. When watching that and seeing the outline running about in the rain, reminds me of a scene from the original Ghost in the Shell movie, where Motoko is chasing the guy through the streets, and then at the end where they're in the big open water area where you can only see her when she's splashed.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a really cool scene.
So we'll see what happens with that.
There's potential. I mean, I want to know more about the game. It looks like an interesting mechanic, but at the same time, I could see it being a very frustrating mechanic.
It can definitely be very frustrating.
And I don't need to throw my controllers across the room again.
No, I wonder, though, like if any other mechanics besides just being outlined by the rain. Okay, he's invisible and he can be seen by the rain. What if, is he actually bending light? So if you shine a flashlight at him or someone flash him, can you still see him or his shadow or anything like that?
Oh no, you don't want to put the processor through its paces at all, do you?
Yes.
Make it calculate refraction.
Damn it, that PS3 can.
And you notice his clothes are invisible too.
True.
So they're not playing the only heat. So you're not running around the world naked.
The Adventures of Naked Boy. Oh no.
Just make sure you grab the right part. That's all I gotta say. Make sure you are all the way in before you close the door.
All right. Well, that's all the news that we had planned for this episode. Let's wrap things up like I always do. What have you been up to? What have you been watching, Michael?
What have I been watching? Oh, well, do you want to rant about the closing ceremonies? How NBC failed yet again?
Failed so freaking hard.
Oh, so freaking hard. They cut out the Kate Bush portion completely.
Mm-hmm.
Which, okay, yeah, I admit, I'm a Kate Bush fanboy, but that's not the point. what they had done with the song, because they'd used Running Up That Hill,
Mm-hmm.
and they had edited in scenes from the actual of the Olympics, that just the song emphasized those scenes
Right.
so much more. NBC couldn't be bothered to show it.
Nope.
The final medal ceremony, which was part of the closing ceremonies, as is tradition. Nah, we're not gonna fucking bother.
Nope. Talk about let's.
George Michael's songs.
Yeah.
He gets to sing. By the way, as me, he looked very leather gay with that cut.
It was fabulous, Don. What are you talking about?
The whole reverse mutton chop thing. Anyway, he's like, he's going for a revamp of the Village People, which is not a problem. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just looking at it going, wow, George, you're leather. Anyway, he did 2 songs.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do just one song. He did Freedom, and then he did a more recent piece. Annie Lennox, same thing.
Yep. Only showed one song, which she did too.
They only showed one. She did 2.
That was annoying.
That was very annoying. There was other parts that I missed, but then NBC decides.
Yeah, let's talk about the worst part.
Oh my God! NBC, after Annie Lennox does her thing, says, "Okay, we're going to do the thing, and they're claiming that it's over now. We'll see you in an hour. We're going to show the first episode of Animal Practice, which, by the way, looks like a really freaking funny show." But
funny you say that though, because one of the reasons why they put that there is because in all the promos they've done so far, it's been failing.
it looks like it's got it's not cohesive.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of very funny bits. The monkey is the star of the damn show.
It is.
But and then Bobby Lee is just kind of out there. But so they did that show, and then they did half an hour news. Then they come back to the party to play one Who song. And then that's it. It's like, really? You couldn't postpone everything by 15 minutes to wrap this up?
Yeah.
But the thing is, Who did how many songs? They played My Generation, but they also sang, oh God, I don't remember the other songs. But they did like 2 or 3 different songs.
Mm-hmm.
And the only artists that did 2 songs that got to do 2 songs were Spice Girls, and that's because they blended the songs. There was there wasn't a clean exit.
Even then, it was pretty pathetic.
I don't know. Spice Girls were pretty badass, though. They did good for Victoria Beckham can still. They're all Scary Spice is still scary, but and Ginger Spice is no longer a ginger. She's blonde Spice now. She's saffron Spice, but it's oh man, NBC total complete utter failboat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go on. It's gonna get me in trouble for saying this, but I watched that and I'm like, F this. I'm gonna go find a torrent of the real ending, just so I can see the parts I missed.
Exactly.
But in the process of doing that, I did learn that Kate Bush has released a new album for the first time in 10 years. So
time to go hunt for a new album.
Time to go hunt for the new album.
Yes.
But oh my God. NBC failboat, toot toot, sinking. Let's see, what have I been watching this week? I've been really watching a lot. I've been doing a lot of work stuff. Got a bit further in Mass Effect 2.
Oh, good.
I now actually have Garrus and Jack and have been to Citadel. So now I got to go get the croak.
Have you gone to all the stores and talked to the owners?
Where you do the, hi, I'm such and such Shepherd. This is my favorite store. Yeah.
And you go to every single one of them.
Yeah, I did. That was kind of awesome, actually. But, oh, yes. And the last thing that I want to bring up.
Okay.
And let me see if I can find a link on it for you. Sideshow Collectibles this week has made life all the more interesting yet again.
Is this going to hurt my wallet?
It's hurting my household's wallet. But not as bad as the other thing would have been. Let me go find it real quick, and I'll shoot you a link so you can bring it up.
Okay.
It's kind of a last minute. Okay, I remember I told you a couple weeks ago that Nikki ordered the Baroness figure, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that she looks completely freaking awesome.
Uh-huh.
Well, they did it again.
Oh?
Fire that puppy up.
Where'd you...
And it's actually at a decent price. It's in AIM.
It's in AIM? I haven't... There it is. Copy pasta.
They have released
Ooh,
Storm Shadow.
nice.
Bring up the gallery on that thing. Oh my god, it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
The level of detail that they've gone on this. I mean, the bow actually has a string. His shoes are actually dirty. It's unbelievable.
To XJazzy13 in the chat who says, "Oh my God, look at the price." Yes, it's $300. Then again, I've seen many figures that are $300. Hell,
Yeah, you can swap out his hands, you can swap out the weapons. Yeah, it's $300, but considering the figure they have that I want, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Hang on.
uh-oh.
I'm gonna show you what I want.
Should I be afraid?
Yeah, bring this one up, and you want to see somebody choke on a price? And what's really sad is I was looking to find a way to do this.
For the sole fact you're a Dolphy collector. Dolphys are like $800 to $1,000.
I only have one Dolphy that fits that. And that fits that price.
Oh, this one. Oh, this is...
Yes.
Let me get
that is the figure they have that I want. And that figure,
Neytiri.
compared to the Neytiri figure, $1,600. I found out why she's $1,600, by the way.
She's damn huge. She's 36 inches high.
She's 36 inches high, but that's not why she's $1,600.
Huh.
This is a repro of the original maquette used in the production.
Ooh. Now I know why it's that expensive. That is freaking worth it then.
So, I mean, Sideshow Collectibles, yeah, they charge a lot, but their quality is through the roof.
Yeah.
That Storm Shadow, the level of detail, if that's what you're into, oh my god, the Baroness when she comes out, when that thing arrives,
It's mine.
Yes, I know what you're
As I hear Nikki in the background going, "It's mine."
when that thing comes into the house, I'm going to be showing it to you guys. It's
awesome.
It's incredible. I'll do a full review of that puppy. If anybody wants, should I pull a person who shall not be named and say, no, I'm not going to do that. But they have figures. They have figures that I want, and unfortunately, the ones I want are really freaking expensive, but they're gorgeous.
Yep. This is why when I go. Okay, there are times I go to websites that I really shouldn't because it just tempts me to pre-order and buy stuff. Hence, Omniarmy.com is a horrible place. I mean,
there's a reason I don't go to that website.
Yes. I mean, the last time I went there was 4.5 months ago to pre-order Luca. And that's probably the only figure I'm going to buy this year. Because if I go on their website anymore, I will drop all my money. Then I don't know where I'm going to go because I'll be out of money.
And just to clarify on the Dolphy thing, I only have one character Dolphy. And that's the Mari that I got when I was in Tokyo a couple years back.
Which is
very
pretty.
Which is very pretty. She's up there. But she was also the last one in Tokyo at the time.
I remember that. You were telling me.
So I kind of it was a get it or don't. But my other figures, my Obitsus and whatnot, are custom builds. I've got one other Dolphy by Volks figure, but it's one of their bases, and we customized it. So yeah, I spend a fair amount of money on. I don't anymore because I don't have the income to do it anymore. Let alone the display space.
Yeah, gotcha.
But so don't give me crap over my Dolphys, dude.
I don't give you crap over your Dolphys and whatnot. I mean, what you have in, hell, what I have in collectibles is easily, 4 figures. The high 4 figures, so. But that's why recently, in terms of stuff that I've been watching, has been stuff that I'm only paying $7 a month for.
Yeah.
So I've been on Crunchyroll a lot late night. I've been having a really bad bout of insomnia lately, just doing random stuff online, Reddit and whatnot. And I'll always have on my side monitor here Crunchyroll, and I'll just whip up a series and just marathon it and catch up. One series I do want to point out that's actually surprisingly funny is The Ambition of Oda Nobunaga. High school boy has been playing one of those. It's kind of like Dynasty Warriors, where they take all the war heroes from back in way back in olden times, and they put them together and they fight and whatnot. Well, he gets sucked into that period but all the warriors are they're actually women. So Oda Nobunaga is actually Oda Nobuna.
I smell harem anime.
Oh, it's massive harem anime. It's a guilty pleasure and it's awesome.
Okay. Oh, speaking of, by the way, back to Dolphies for just a second.
Okay.
The other reason I'm kind of taking a break from Dolphies is while their dolls are awesome, their figures, their ball joints are awesome. They're a little pricey, but of late, their delivery schedules have been sucktastic. You remember that saber that we ordered back in October of last year?
Yeah.
That was paid off in full in March. That was supposed to be delivered originally in June.
It hasn't shown up yet or no?
There, as of 2 days ago, it's not. It might. They're in their freaking warehouse right now. Okay? It might arrive mid-September. We may get a call saying, come down and pick up your saber.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not exactly happy with Tenchi no Sumiko right now.
Yes.
I'm very annoyed with them. Although, and that's not my figure. That's Nikki's figure. Nikki ordered and paid for the saber. But,
okay.
I mean, this thing's been paid off since March, and we still don't have it. So, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed at folks right now.
I understand that. The only other series I want to make a mention of is Total Eclipse. Because, I mean, yes, it was made off of the original visual novel, so it's an Etage. But they took out all the Etage parts of it.
Oh, man, what's the point?
I have played in the background, and I'm like, okay, giant mechs fighting aliens. Okay, cool, I can play that in the background while I'm working on other stuff. And then I just look over, and then all of a sudden, like, we're going to the beach, and we're all in, I'm like, how did we go from mechs fighting aliens to bikinis?
Isn't that a trope, though? Isn't it usually around episode 10 or 11?
This was episode 3.
Episode 3? They went to the beach that early.
Yeah, they went quick.
Usually they usually wait, or no, 10 or 11 is a recap episode. Then 12 or 13 is usually the beach episode.
No, I'm sorry, it wasn't 10. It was actually 6. My apologies. Not 3, it was 6.
Okay.
But still, it was, and again, they stayed at the beach for so far 2 episodes. I think they're going to be there for a 3rd. Why? Then again, why am I watching it? But whatever.
Okay, to the toy box featuring Michael, yeah. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah. She's not the only one who likes them.
Exactly. Michael has figures that he enjoys. I have figures that I enjoy. Trust me, once we get...
But I do have more words in my vocabulary.
Ouch.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't.
Okay.
Okay, good point. Hey, but you know what? Props to her anyways, because she has that dream job now.
Yes, congratulations to her for that.
She has that.
Forced character development at the beach.
Forced character development. The character development, how small can I make my bikini? Because they try that.
Have you seen Infinite Stratos?
I have. This is worse than Infinite Stratos.
Is it really?
Yes.
Because I was hearing, I haven't seen it myself. Nikki was big on it, and she was telling me about the episode where the one German girl gets the advice from the closet otaku.
It's worse.
And wears the Band-Aid bikinis. Oh God.
Yeah. You guys can go watch it. It's on Crunchyroll, and you can see for yourself, and then send me an email saying, why did you do that to me? And I'll laugh. So, Wow. All right. Well, wow. It's already, it's almost 8:30. We've been going for almost an hour and a half.
We got off on a tangent there.
We kind of do that.
Yeah, we tend to do that.
It's still fun.
So as to what I've been watching, I haven't been really watching anything. I was trying to go out of my way to find something to watch so that I could actually have something to say I've been watching, but no.
You got other stuff that's entertaining you and keeping you busy. That's all good.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we wrap this up?
Let's do it.
All right. So as always, you can follow us on our Twitter right there. You can check out stuff on the website, OtakuLife.net. I've been posting a lot more articles up there. Feel free to comment on them, pass them, spread them around. It'll be very much appreciated. I believe there's only 3 or 4 days left in the our fundraiser on Indiegogo.com. So if you head over, where do I put that? There it is. Indiegogo.com/OtakuLife.net, or there's a link, little image on our website, OtakuLife.net. If you even have $5 or $6, it would be greatly appreciated. We would definitely be helpful to making the shows work a little smoother. We can get maybe Michael some lighting. We'll get some camera work. We can go on the field, out in the field doing some work there.
I'm actually working on that, by the way.
I know, but just trying to wait for to help out along with it. So, but all right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for joining us for another episode. We'll be back next week. It'll be fun.
Yes, we will.
All right, thank you very much. We will see you next week.
Bye.